that the National Legislature spent over US 13.9 million, or more than the US 3.6 million that was allotted to them in 2024 is correct. Well, this is all we have time for on the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia, OKFM, Pram FM, and Cool FM to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by Internews through the Liberia Media Empowerment Project. If you want us to fact check claim for you, please send us a text to WhatsApp on 0777 556296 and we will check for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, Twitter at LVL Fact Check, and go to our website at www.localvoicesliberia.com. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. I am Siawe Miapu. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
And welcome back. The OK Conversation. We are dedicating this one to our manager, Clarence Jackson, on his 60th birthday. Please fact check us, don't fact check. It is my own age I'm giving. My Peking Jamel Zani celebrates his birthday today as well. And all of you celebrating. Okay, welcome back. This is the OK Conversation. Sports journalist Garrison Income Dia is informing me that Cape Mount doesn't just have a juju man issue, an alleged juju man, as I call it. Tomorrow we'll play for you. We have a whole lot going on today, so we'll play for you what the juju man say about Cape Mount. But it is not just that issue. The sports journalist, very trusted, is telling me that Cape Mount are also owing a businessman named Plaza Williams over they allegedly owing Plaza Williams over $3,500 from last year, and he cursed them too. That he allegedly cursed Cape Mount as well. They are allegedly owing the man $3,500. They are allegedly owing the juju man $2,500 from 2013. They've been allegedly owing this juju man. The man said he made them to win. The man said whenever you saw a black dog coming on the field, he was the one working. And Cape Mount haven't paid since then. And then sports journalist Garrison Dia is telling us that the problems of Cape Mount are compound complex because they are also allegedly owing Plaza Williams over about $3,500, and they were again cursed. How can this jinx on Cape Mount be lifted? Do they need some exorcism? We'll see. Garrison is also the four results, yeah. Maryland 1, Bombay 1, Bong 0, Basel. Is it 2 or 3? 3. Sino 2, Riverside 0, Grand Jeddah 2, Grand Cru 1, Lofa 1, Bapol 1, Nimba. Was it 2 or 3? Nimba and Kidman. You know, these results are just. But whatever the case is, I like the fervor, I like the spirit that everybody is coming in with for the county meet. The momentum from the early stages, the group stages, is so high. Before, people will wait for teams to come to Monrovia first. The only county you don't hear anybody posting, talking about or seeing anybody post about is Montserrat. We all ill-treat Montserrat. We almost make ourselves the refugees. We go back to our counties and Montserrat is just left there. Thankfully, a senator of Montserrat, Darius Dillon, will be our guest. So we'll put that to him. We'll put that to him. Yeah. Okay. So, hey, my dream. In the Super Cup finals, with my man Robert Classy, I should say, mighty, but that means I call, but I can never praise Barcelona. I'll just talk to my dream. Okay. So someone wants to send me his number. Yes, do that, please. Ishmael, please send me the man came out allegedly. Let me speak with him live on air. Let's hear. Yes, please send his number. Please send his number. Let's speak with him quickly before we go to our guest, who is on the standby from the US. A few things to run over, and I'll run over them deep tomorrow. Given the nature of what's happening with the Capitals fire, very important. So tomorrow we'll go into most of these issues. But it's important to start the analysis on that. We are concerned. These mobile phone companies, you cannot be taking 20 to 30 seconds to tell someone say they get 1 minute left. For me, it makes no sense. If you're not able to send message to tell someone say you get 5 minutes left, 1 minute left, leave it. Yeah, because you can make us to appear like fools on the line. You are talking to the person can hear you, then they tell you have just 1 minute. You say your money is about to finish. Blah blah blah. You're speaking serious, not even like when persons are talking on the thing. He'll talk all that plenty thing. The person can hear you from the other side. It is the person's time going. Those 20 to 30 seconds could be used to communicate whatever. So you all need to stop that. It is very important. You need to stop that. We'll talk more about that on tomorrow. Okay. Where's my producer? So the man can know. We want to try to speak with this businessman whom Cape Mount allegedly owes $3,500. Have you all seen that Mo Ali picture that is trending? The man's okay, the man's number is busy. Yep. Okay. Bear with us, folks. Okay. So, a few other things to rumble over as we go over to our guest. Yeah, we're trying to see if we can speak quickly with. We also know that Liberia has formally declared its bid for re-election to the International Maritime Organization. That's the IMO Council, submitting its official instrument at the IMO headquarters in London. That would be a good thing for the country if we can get that. We also know that the legislature resumed operations today. We'll talk about that tomorrow. The interim management of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, they've unveiled a strategic plan aimed at minimizing power outages and ensuring reliable electricity supply during the dry season in Liberia. Let's see how that works, because right now, Right now, it doesn't seem to be the case. We also know that Dr. Lily Mapaya has been inducted as the 16th president of the University of Liberia. So that is good as well. So those are some of the things that you need to know. We'll go deeper into some of them tomorrow. Okay, Mr. Williams says in 10 to 15 minutes we can call him. So let's go to our guest. It is about this police investigation into the fire incident at the Capitol. Let's have him now. By tomorrow also we'll have our updated system. We have our updated system that you'll be able to see our guests. We're speaking with them if they're not in the country and all of that. But we have Alfred. Alfred Johnson, welcome to the OK Conversation.
Good morning, Julius. Good afternoon, Julius, and good afternoon to everybody in Liberia. Thank you for the opportunity, Julius. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks so kindly for always being a call away when we need some analysis on security, rule of law matters, and all of that.
No problem. You're welcome, brother.
Okay. Now, you did quite a piece, but before we get to that piece, the last time we did lots of analysis on the Shalom Musu case, and the Supreme Court determined that that there was not sufficient evidence to convict the accused, so they've been set free. And we also know that there were allegations then from others, especially in the opposition, that certain people were responsible for the death of Shalom Musu. What could be the next way for this case now? We haven't really heard much since the release, and obviously she was killed and someone killed her.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a point of correction. What the Supreme Court said was one of the main points the Supreme Court had was the discarding of one would consider exculpatory evidence that would benefit the defense, and that was the presence of a male DNA on Shadow's deceased's fingernails. So based on that, the Supreme Court decided, among other things, that was too egregious of an error to ignore.
On that point, let me ask you: is it possible to determine the DNA of a male without knowing who that male is?
So they have the ability to do it. I don't want to jump into the DNA expertise because I'm not familiar with that. But here is the thing: as law enforcement professional, when you get on the scene of an incident, every evidence counts. Every evidence you gotta count, especially in the case of the Shalom case, when the defendant's argument was that there was a male intruder. So if you discover a DNA under the fingernail of Shalom, you have to preserve that because that's considered evidence. That DNA has to be preserved, and then that DNA will be tested against the DNA of other people on the scene. And the government could easily explain away that DNA by testing it along against other DNA of it. Like when according to the testimony, the trial testimony, there was the driver, Councilor Scott Pastor, handled Shalom Ballet. People who entered the house, they handled about it. The people at the first clinic handled about it. The people at the redemption also handled about it. So there were 4 or 5 different men that came in contact with Shalom's body. So it's entirely possible that will explain that it was this people DNA. But because you discarded that DNA and the defense primary argument was that there was a male intruder, that was egregious of evidence for you to discard. Even if it was not a male DNA, even if it was not a male DNA, it was a DNA anyway, and it was evidence that you discarded, and that's a critical piece of evidence because our argument is that there was a man in the house, and you discarded an evidence that could have supported our argument. So based on that, the court determined that it was too egregious of an error. It was a persecutorial misconduct, so they decided that the defendant overturned the conviction because of withholding exculpatory evidence for the defense team. But it does not mean to say that it means we still have a dead body. So if it's up to the government of Liberia not to be able to conduct an investigation, to go back to the scene, go over the case, and see if they can develop new suspects. But again, at this point, some of us maintain that the evidence that was presented in the trial and the things it does not support it does not appear like there was a real intruder. But again, the court says that because of the disparity of DNA evidence, which is critical to the defense, the case will be overturned.
So in this case, those who provided claims that Jefferson Koji, Valley Teller were connected to this, is it time for them to bring that evidence forth to the police? Should the police go after them? And then why hasn't the police done that?
Yeah, if you believe, I think it was what Jerome who said that Jefferson Koji and Valley Teller were involved, and he will give the evidence to the police or something like that. Well, at this point, I think he favors this government, so I think the police chief is somebody that the current police chief is somebody that he can trust. So he should be able to provide that evidence that supports his claim that Jefferson Koji and Valley Teller were involved in this incident. Remember, LNP brought in Jefferson Koji and Valley Teller as persons of interest, and they interviewed them, and they realized they were not involved in this case, and they released them. They allowed them to leave. So if Jerome Vernon now believes that these guys were involved, and he has critical piece of evidence for that, the police force in power now he has some sort of favorable relationship with them, I believe. So he can then present those evidence to them so they can be able to go after the guys if the evidence is strong enough to execute an arrest, eventually seek conviction.
Okay, now you wrote a piece 4 or 5 days ago titled "Answering Important Questions from Chief Coleman's Fire Investigation Press Conference," and you have some very key questions here. So far, so good. How can you describe what has come out generally before I come to the specific questions that you outlined?
I think one of the things we have to be very careful here when it comes to these kind of situations is when you get on the scene of this incident as the head. Hello? Yeah, Julius.
Yeah. Can you go back on what you were saying? We didn't get it.
Yes. When you get on the scene of these incidents, you have to be very careful with your utterance. You have to be very careful with what you say because it comes back to you or affect the case. So when LNP director got on the scene, there was a statement made that people felt were pretty much already prejudicial. And then the press conference, the entire press conference, first I appreciate the LNP using resources like the Environmental Protection Agency and the LPRC to be able to help with the investigation. But I think the press conference, there was so many tests in the press conference. Any event suspect arrested can use that press conference and provide some of the best argument against their defense. Against the case can come out of that press conference. And I think there were a couple of missteps that had to be handled, that have to be dealt with later, so that they can learn from it. But I think the overall press conference was a miscalculation on the part of LNP and the fire chief. Let's just put it that way.
Now, the first thing was, can the police get involved in fire investigation? Yeah. Why? What do you say to that?
Yes, the police can get involved in fire investigation because when the fire goes out, the police is called. The police is called along with fire. So the police gets called on the scene, and the police will come there. Now, fire investigators, the fire marshals will come and investigate the fire. The police can get involved in the investigation in terms of protecting the scene and things like that. Now, another way they can get involved in the investigation, if the fire marshal determines that based on their investigation that the fire was caused by was a result of arson then becomes a criminal matter. So now that part of the investigation, the criminal part of the fire investigation, rests on the police. The fire people are still investigating the fire aspect of it, gathering support the claim of it being an arson, and the police themselves are writing search warrant based on the evidence we gathered by the police, by the fire marshal, to be able to execute search warrant, to be able to execute arrest and things like that. But the police investigation of involvement in this fire investigation has to do with the criminal aspect of it, not the fire aspect. Because when you go on stand as a police officer, you are not testifying to why you consider the fire an arson? If they ask you, why is the fire an arson? You say, no, it's not my area of expertise. You can ask the fire marshal why they made that determination. The fire marshal makes a determination based on the presented that it was an arson, and the police now go ahead with the criminal aspect of that investigation. So that's how the police can get involved in fire investigation, but not to the extent of speaking like they are fire experts. No, they cannot. They can only get involved in investigation from the perspective, from the criminal perspective.
Because you also said, why was Chief Gregory Como answering questions about the fire aspect of the investigation as well?
And that's another thing, because when he said when Chief Como was speaking, he said, quote unquote, he said the smoke for the fire was consistent with that of an accelerant, and he said also the color of the flame was consistent, or the color of the flame was consistent with that of an accelerant, the smoke and the color. The problem is, he even talked about the electrical fire, how it started, how the electric, there was some sort of shocker in the, at least some kind of electrical thing that can stop the building from catching on fire. The problem is, Chief Como, the breaker. The problem is Chief Como is the chief of the Liberian National Police, not the Liberian National Fire Service or the Liberian Electricity Corporation. He's speaking on these things with such level of detail is concerning, because think about it this way, Julius. Take that press conference appearance and put it in quote. Imagine the chief of police testing about fire issue when the fire chief is right there. That's what happened. The chief of police was speaking about the fire aspect of the investigation while the fire chief was right there. He shouldn't have done that. He should have spoken to the criminal aspect. Like the fire people determine this is an as LMP are working on getting search warrants, arrest warrants. We are working suspects in to interview them, or persons of interest to interview them. That should be the scope and the extent of the chief's involvement in this thing, to discuss the nature of the fire, what caused the fire, and things like that. Now, if he goes on the stand and starts to speak like that, the defense can ask him, hey, are you the chief of the Liberian National Fire Service, or are you the chief of the Liberian National Police? Or I'm the chief of the Liberian National Police. So you're not close with the authority to speak on fire issue. You are close with the authority to speak on the criminal aspect of this, not the fire issue. So the chief speaking on the fire aspect of the investigation was wrong when the fire chief was right there.
You also said in the press conference, both Chief Como and the fire service chief provided conflicting accounts. So in this case, what are the conflicting accounts and how could it affect the case?
So the conflicting account is, Chief Como said, quote unquote, we have sufficient evidence to call the act an act of arson. Now listen, he said we have sufficient evidence to call the act an act of arson. The fire boss said, we are quote unquote almost at the point of conclusion. From our observation at Capitol building, there was flammable substance used to cause the fire. So there are two different things. Chief Como was very definitive that it's arson. Chief Como went on to use the same flammable substance line to make his case about arson. So in one breath, Chief Como is saying it was arson. In the next breath, the fire chief is not sure. The fire chief statement appears like they're not sure whether it's arson or not. That's a conflict, because now when you go on the stand, whose credibility is going to be questioned more? Whose credibility is going to be taken seriously when it comes to the discussion about the fire? Is it fire investigator, the fire chief? So if the fire chief is saying we are almost at the point of conclusion, that means they are not reached a conclusion yet. Now the chief of police saying is already at the reached a conclusion and is asking is two different statements that will affect any criminal case, any criminal proceeding eventually when you have suspects. So if this is why the chief is supposed to speak with a level of definition that is consistent with his expertise, not one that is consistent with somebody else's expertise.
Now, you also talked about the issue of suspects and persons of interest, whether the LMP actually has suspects now or persons of interest.
Yeah, the reason I asked that question, because when you listen to the press conference, the chief said, first of all, the chief said, asked if does LMP actually have suspects or person of interest? Again, that would be based on your view of chief press conference. That's first find the two things. Persons of interest simply the suspects find the question in relation to the criminal. That's the person of interest. A suspect is generally is the person who is believed to have committed a crime. You know, the person is the suspect, and they developing evidence to get that suspect. Person of interest, like the case of Lieutenant Jefferson Koji, they said they were person of interest. Maybe they may have made some statement relating the situation, so they just person of interest. They came up and say, oh, they checked them or they didn't do anything. That's the situation. When the chief woman said that they have identified quote-unquote person of interest and they have contacted them, now he said that in the case they do not show up, they will be arrested. You understand me? Then you also said if you don't come, we will go. So now the question becomes, do you have persons of interest or suspect? Because you cannot arrest persons of interest. You cannot. You can arrest suspects, but you cannot arrest persons of interest. You can only what you can do with persons of interest is you can go to the court to restrict persons of interest movements. What do I mean? If you feel these people are persons of interest in a case, you are not raising them to the level of suspect yet. You can go to the court and say, hey, we have this investigation going on, and we believe these people are persons of interest. We want to be able to intervene them, but because of their means, their resources, and their ability to move, their freedom of movement in terms of the ability to fly out of the country, the ability to move anyone, we want the court to restrict their movement. Because restricting people's freedom of movement it requires some sort of court order, because if you don't get a court order, it's a constitutional violation. So in order to restrict their movement, you can go to the court and the court will resist, order them to turn in their passport, order them to report their whereabouts every 24 hours, and things like that. The court can do that. Persons of interest. But you cannot arrest persons of interest. So when the chief is saying that they are going to, if you don't come, we'll go for you, if we will arrest you, in the case you don't show up, we'll arrest you. Are these people persons of interest or are they suspects? Now, you got to be very clear on who they are.
Now, let me take to the next one, then I will bring in another facet of this thing that has been coming up. You said, is the burning building evidence enough to arrest? What do you think?
No, it's not. And the reason that question was asked is because when you listen to Chief Man, he said, we have sufficient evidence to speak to facilitation, conspiracy, execution thereof, which we have, evidence by the burning of the building. The burning of the building itself is not evidence of a crime. It's not evidence of criminal activity. The building was burned. We believe that. It's almost like saying somebody died and you see the person dead. You see a person dead body here, and you see the person died. Right away, you see the person body. The person death is evidence of a crime. No, that person would have died from heart attack. That person would have died from some internal bleeding, some medical complication, something else, or that person would have easily been killed as well. So the body alone, the death incident alone, is not evidence of crime. So the burning of the Capitol building is not in and of itself is not an evidence of a crime. We have a burned building, so we have a fire investigation. Now, if you investigate an incident and it shows that it was an accident based on investigative findings, then the burning of the building becomes a key part of the case in terms of it being the cause of the charges. But in and of itself is not. So when you say evidence by the burning of the building, if you don't have any other evidence other than that, then you don't have a case.
Now, but some people, we've been hearing reports, have been taken in by the police, allegedly with NSA involvement and all of that. Have you heard that?
Well, I've heard things like that, but I don't want to give credence to speculation. In as much as you have as somebody who is a professional, these are all speculations. I'm not sure if they are true or not. These are all speculations. I've not read it, heard it anywhere. So I don't know whether these people were picked up by NSA, LMP, or what. I don't know. LMP has not really said anything about it, so I don't want to dignify speculations in that room.
Yeah, because I've been sent the recording of a gentleman who allegedly was again tortured by NSA and all of that, but we try to investigate, which of course is quite concerning. I've been getting these reports coming in. I hope we can get our judicial person on this.
I think if the recording can be authenticated and that person can provide more beyond the recording, maybe photo, much more forever in one-on-one interview with you, then we can lend credence to that. But people can manipulate things in this day and age. A lot of things can be manipulated, especially when it comes to politics. Yeah.
Sure, indeed, and this is what we want to verify, and perhaps if we can speak with the person themselves. But back to our discussion, as this case is playing out, you also spoke about, is it okay for LMP to be holding on to information?
So here is the thing, yeah. The answer, like I said, the answer depends on the nature of information being held. You know, if as a police officer, you want to provide as much information as needed for your case. So if you're going for an arrest warrant, they tell us, do not write a dissertation in your arrest warrant. Write the parts of the part of the case that is relevant to your arrest warrant that will give you no probable cause to get the arrest warrant. Because if you write too much detail in it, the defense can get you later on the stand. So you read little as possible that will get you your arrest warrant, that will get you your search warrant. Every other information required for the case will be provided to the defense through the discovery process. So normally speaking, police officers are taught not to provide too much information. But you provide information relevant to what you put out. So if you say somebody killed this person, you have to provide some sort of probable cause evidence to show that it happened. Not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The proof beyond reasonable be provided in court. You cannot provide proof beyond a reasonable doubt evidence in the arrest stage of the process, during the pre-prosecutorial stage. So in this case, if LMP comes up like they did with Jefferson County Valley, they leave them as person of interest. So in this case, if you say that this investigation has gone on for what, a month or so, and you come up and say we have, after all our investigative base, we have persons of interest in this case, and you don't name the person of interest, you come across as hiding information. You know, if you say you have person of interest, then correspondingly you have to name the persons of interest. You cannot say you have person of interest and don't name them. All you have to say, if you don't want to name the person of interest, we are still filing critical investigative leads, and when the time comes, we will be able to provide further update on it. But for now, we will leave the investigation as it is, and there is no further information on it. But when you give certain information, you have to name it. When you say we have a place in the suspect met at a place, you got to name the place. You understand me? So you have to provide the corresponding evidence for that. You can't say this. I believe the suspect was the suspect fled off. Suspect used the phone to communicate. Okay, how did you know the suspect used the phone? We got a phone record. You understand? You say you have person of interest, then you have to name the person of interest. So in this case, LMP withholding information is wrong. You cannot withhold information, especially if you told the public that you have person of interest. In that case, you have to name the person of interest. If you don't want to name them, you simply tell us that we still filing critical investigative leads, and when the time comes, we'll update the public on that. Simple.
Finally, before I let you go, and perhaps I'll come back to you tomorrow if we get more details of these people that were allegedly arrested. You see, could the way the police spoke negatively impact the government's case in the event that suspects are identified, arrested, and taken to trial?
Absolutely. It could have serious impact. Listen to this. So, at the beginning of the press conference, the chief said he did not want to call the incident an arson. Right? That's what he said at the beginning of the press conference.
That is Gregory Coleman. That is Gregory Coleman.
Yeah, Chief Coleman. Chief Coleman. Let me be. I'm sorry, the chief. When I say it, I'm referring to Chief Gregory Coleman. So, at the beginning of the press conference, he said when they got on scene, in the press conference now, he said when they got on scene, he was very careful. They didn't want to call the incident an arson. But then in the press conference, later in the press conference, the chief said, quote unquote, from the day the incident occurred, based on the expertise available on the ground, we knew that the occurrence was consistent with that of an arson. So in essence, the chief really had an opinion, and people can say you reached an investigative, you had an opinion for the beginning of the investigation. You know, this is dangerous for the kids. You know, when the police, you already have something in mind. People can say you already have something in mind, and your investigation was intended to prove why you feel happy. And also, when they asked him, I think it was Massa Khan or somebody asked him why were they still waiting for the expert from abroad if they had already reached a conclusion. Then the chief said the expert coming is an icing on the cake. So you've already made conclusion. He also said, quote unquote, when you're speaking of the person of injury, he also said, quote unquote, those who did that I know themselves. If you don't come, we'll go for you. You know, as a police police chief, you don't speak like that. You have to speak with authority. You have to speak with credibility. When you speak like that, it gives people the impression that you are not behaving like a police chief. You are behaving like a political person. Liberia National Police. So Liberia National Police chief, it's an organization. And the chief has to be careful with his utterance. To be careful how he speaks. Because whatever he says, he's the authority. He's the head of the Liberia National Police. His words carry weight. So if he goes on the CNC for the day we saw it, we said that were arson, and I think from what I understand is reported that the president went on CNC was a hooliganist act and things like that.
Yeah.
But we didn't know anything. So now the investigation, people will feel that whatever suspects you have, they say you guys are put because you are tailoring the investigation to prove what the chief said, to prove what the president said. When it's supposed to have an open investigation, let me give you something. Let me give you an example. When somebody gets shot here, when I was a detective, somebody gets shot. All we do, we don't follow. One, we allow ourselves to be guided by the evidence. We don't guide the evidence guides us. So if I develop a suspect here, and if I get an evidence, the evidence pointing in a direction, if I get a phone, and the phone points me in one direction, I will go and get a phone record. Do a search warrant on that phone. If that lead dies, then I'll go and find another lead. I will be guided by the evidence. I will not allow myself to guide the evidence, because if you try to manipulate the evidence, what you do is you create problem for your case. Because now you have a tunnel vision. This person, you go and say, they say Julius' wife died. Julius in the house, Julius' wife got stabbed. I have tunnel vision that you don't get a woman. That you don't get a woman. So now every action I'm taking, it will be towards proving that Julius was the one who killed his wife. And later it turned out, no, Julius did not kill the woman. There was a robbery in the house. The robbery went by. The woman got killed. But Julius was sleeping. So you see how that affects the case? Now a robber is walking through a tunnel vision my investigation to say it was Julius. So you got to be careful your utterances.
Alfred Johnson, thanks so kindly. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks so kindly for taking some time. I may have you on a longer version on tomorrow if we follow this case about some individuals that were reportedly picked up and all of that. If it turns out to be true and we get more details, then we'll have you on tomorrow to expand into that.
No problem, my brother. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, let's see if Massa has some information pertaining this case. As you know, we tried not to opinionate about it since these reports started coming out. We wanted to get the professionals on. Let's see if Massa has some updates on this case. I don't know if she's ready. Massa, I was saying, well, I believe. Massa, I hope you are much better now. Yeah. Do we have any information on anybody being arrested in connection with the Capitol fires?
Yes, there is an individual by the name of Thomas Edry.
Yeah, can you please speak louder?
Well, I'm recuperating, so I don't know.
Yeah, try. He was arrested when?
January 10th.
Okay.
And there's a claim by the state that he has a honorable investigation over by the police and the National Security Agency. A habeas corpus was filed because the statutory period for an investigation for 8 hours. So according to his lawyers, that time has elapsed and he filed a habeas corpus, and he was not brought before the court, and the conclusion was filed, which related him to brought him to court today for criminal court. As we speak, he's on the bench in the sheriff office working on modality because, according to what his lawyers are saying, is that he was tortured, he was beaten allegedly by security apparatus, and so he needs medical attention. And whatever medical examination, the court should be involved. That was their reservation. But as we speak currently...
But is it true that he was in NSA's custody?
He was in custody. Whether he was with the NSA or the police, that I can't speak to. But in a document I have, they mentioned the Liberian National Police and the National Security Agency.
Okay, so will you kindly send that document to us, Master? We sincerely appreciate it.
Absolutely. But the issue here now is that as we speak, I think there is another way to prepare because this is civil purpose and the security apparatus cannot be defiant. They have to provide a living body of whosoever was being requested for. So, the state court getting information and the sheriffs from the state court waiting outside and presumably after his release from the circuit for B, he might likely be arrested.
Okay. Thanks so kindly, Massa, for letting us know. Once you send the document to us, we'll be able to send it to our analyst. Yeah, Massa hasn't been well. That's why, folks. She hasn't been well. We can't push her. Okay. We will get that document. We'll be able to authenticate everything else. Now, let's take few calls. Our guests are in, so we can speak with them quickly. But let's take few calls on 0777 700 995, 555 995 995. The rule of law is very, very important. We hope we all can try to abide by it in whatever is happening in investigative processes. There are too many eyes on this country. And may the best happen. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Hello,
Who? Okay. Okay, go ahead.
This is my first person calling on the show.
Thanks so kindly. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, I want to make a comment on the Archie, the police Archie. The police Archie made a statement in his press conference that the building, when the building caught fire, he got to know that Cora in the building. How the man know that Cora was in the building? The police Archie himself is ready. That's my understanding because you just said the building caught fire and our assault, and you got to know fire. Cora in the building. So you see, in that sense, they don't call the police Archie for investigation too.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Let's take this one from overseas. Welcome. Let's hear you. Go ahead, Frank.
Thank you, Julius. I'm going to show this gentleman who is arrested and then he's supposed to be on the internet. So, one of the brothers one of the sisters
you are sounding very muffled. I don't know what's happening.
Are you hearing me now?
Better.
Thank you very much. And I just got to know that the brother is actually from one of my maternal school right behind Broadway, the town called Pecker. But I started checking our maternal getting some investigation for in that village. But I'm not running to the uncle of this gentleman, to one of my uncles. Because it's very serious. The family there, according to this young guy who called on this radio, that everybody is concerned about him. Now, if we are hearing that the NSA is saying that they do not have the young man, the police do not have him, where is he now? Because that's
and the man Master said he's currently in the court. The court has been able to mandate the government to turn over his living body.
So you are now?
Yeah.
So who are they representing, the NSA or the police?
Well, according to Master, both of them were in the both police and NSA were in a particular document. But thanks so kindly, Frank. Let's take former Representative J. Gabriel Nyekan. Then we take others. Welcome. Let's hear you, sir. Yes.
Happy New Year.
Many happy returns.
Thanks a million, man, for what you do for this country. We immortalize your identity. But the point is, it follows from where your caller just left off, right? It is clear to all of us that this government has the intent for the violation of the rule of law. it is ominously threatening as far as United democracy is concerned. We have to, I keep drumming this because in the last 54 plus years that I have lived, I know Liberia came to her knees. The mayhem, the dastardly, commission of crime witness in this country where there was absolutely no governance, were all precipitated by a flagrant violation for human rights. And you have a case now, as we see, whether it's NSA or the police in this day and age, we are still guessing as to who might have kept people behind bars. But the point is, the president says that he has faith in the rule of law. He wants to work. But the president is the chief architect of the violation of the rule of law. Every week, there is an issue of violation either the Constitution or a statute. And if the president continues this way, people will lose the confidence to have in the judicial will be eroded. Now, listen, there are 3 ladies on the bench. And that's one of the reasons why you see the Supreme Court is afraid tiptoeing around crucial national issues because they carry the burden of fear. The Associate Justice Bessie and Associate Justice Kabawa are the 2 men. Unfortunately, I'm disappointed. These are men that I have known for years. I went to school with Justice Kabawa. Every Bessie for his appointment was one of the no-nonsense judge. They sat on the bench and they allowed these.
Okay, we don't have enough time, sir. I'm just saying to you, last second, the president cannot be in one breath calling for the rule of law, and in the next breath, he's a chief architect of violating all laws. When people lose confidence in the judiciary, they resort to other means on orthodox. Thanks so kindly. Tomorrow we expand on it. Having faith in the rule of law. I'll make sure on our 4 o'clock segment that will bring Alfred Johnson to go deeper into this matter. I've sent him the document from Massa to peruse it and all of that. With additional information, we can get into this matter on tomorrow. Welcome. Let's hear you, final caller.
Thank you, Julius. Good afternoon to you and to the people of Liberia. Julius, is unfortunate that...
Who am I speaking with? Don't just...
Fire.
Go ahead, Rudolphin.
It is unfortunate at this stage and at this time when Liberia has signed so many treaties, so many agreements, both local and internationally, and we are still taking torture to get evidence from people as our key.
What is the evidence? Who was tortured?
In my possession, there are evidence that Edward Tom was tortured by NSA to provide evidence against himself. That doesn't happen anymore. The police was clear that in their investigation, they have overwhelming evidence to prove this. Bring the one, the capability. To arrest somebody saying the NSA for another torture to provide evidence against himself, then it sounds contradictory to his statement. I think what we should be looking at the police now is to arrest those and plead perpetrators, not to be sent for NSA for not to provide evidence against himself. It's against human rights. It's against our treaties that we saw, and against our local agreement, that the Freedom of Information Act, the freedom of speech, all these things against it. It is not good for this country. This president we elected is a peaceful president, and we expected that this country will bring something good for us.
Okay.
If you look at them torturing people now to provide evidence, it's very, very disturbing.
Thanks so kindly, Rula. So we'll hold you there. Let me squeeze in. I was supposed to speak with this man to confirm or deny something. So let me go to him. His name is what? Plaza Williams. Let's see if we can speak with him quickly in 1 minute to just confirm whether Kidman owes him 3,500. Okay, we have with us. Is a name called Plaza Williams? Yeah. How is it spelled? How is it Plaza spelled?
It's P-R-A-Y-A-H.
Okay, good. One sport reporter informed us earlier that Grand Kidman allegedly owes you $3,500 USD from last year's county meet. Is it true or not?
sure, but it's done last year.
Okay, that went.
Okay, so it happened in 2018.
Okay, 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Which services the two render Cape Mount that they owe you?
Okay, so that year, Cape Mount County was the host of for the county. So I have one of my friends they call son of family. Yeah, you are the on the how do you call it? He's the one who on the steering committee about that. So if you call me and say, oh, Cape Mount, this or material we got this year, it will be a host. So we want you to supply our both boss and girls, and then if we receive our money for youth and sports, and then we'll pay you. So I happen.
So what did you supply them?
That's all I supply them sporting material like jersey, tracksuit, football boots, and all of the shit and stuff.
Okay.
Can't wear other stuff.
So that is all the things they use in terms of wearings and all of that. You are the one that provided it in the 2018 county meet.
Exactly.
So which efforts have you made for them to pay you your 3,500?
So I have made that lot of effort because first day when just a call two people and they told me to the stability of youth and sport. Yeah. So I went there and I met with it. Everything with this stuff. But they are adequately. Yeah. Adequate was the one that I met with. So and the case people owe you money. Where the minister is of which again it was Zoka
Wilson.
Thank you. So that I went there and they said just do or let us implicate to our office.
But since then you've not been able to get your money out of them.
Oh yeah.
It's true that because of the disappointment you cursed them, you put backlog on them.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, so you put backlog on them too. What was the backlog that you put on them?
I told them once they can pay my money, they will not be successful with what is why I'm calling. I'm calling to that.
Okay. Also, you say once they can't pay your money, they will not win counter me again.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Thanks so kindly, please. Okay. Cape Mount was dipping. I hope our producer later can cut this part. So we can. So as I said, we'll go to our guests. We have William C. Bovetta.
Yeah.
Marcus S. Cooper. They are farmers, into farming. Let's talk to them a bit. But I promise you all we have a longer conversation. We have a longer conversation soon on agricultural matters since you're involved in agriculture. Okay, Senator Dillon is here, we know. The Mara group of farmers, that's how they call themselves. So tell us, what kind of... I'm seeing some pictures. I wish it was on those days that we had our whole system that we could put all of these things up. But you can trust that very soon, maybe later this week or next week I'll give you an entire hour for us to talk about. Oh, you have body pepper for who? Oh, for me, you better borrow plastic bell pepper. Wow. Yeah. And yeah. I grew up and I let people know, I can't eat pepper because some health issues. Yeah, I said good in my family. Wow. Okay. Wow. Now, you have me whetting my appetite now for this whole interview. Now, welcome. You are
William Buffetta.
Okay, you are the Buffetta. You are the what? The hair farmer or what?
I'm the leaf farmer.
Okay. What kind of farming do you guys do?
We're engaged into vegetable farming. Grow all vegetables like lettuce, cabbage, Chinese cabbage, pepper, radish, all the vegetables. Then we'll go to the Chinese vegetable. We'll produce tongwa, kalila, turi, sengwa, all those vegetables. But the real name for some of them are buttergourd,
Pedago, Snake-go, Turi, Racket-go.
Where do you have your place?
We have our place to now because of land turning. We have to move far away now in Magibi around Benina area, but you take the road to call the place Zuo.
I think I need to find time to visit there.
One of your reporter was there today. Sylvester.
Okay, yeah, but I myself will never go there. Maybe on some kind of Friday or Saturday when I'm not working. We'll go there. Let's hear from Marcus as well, the feed technology.
By the way, I'm the Deutschland and Michael Escobar. Some most students in the University of Liberia reading general agriculture.
So you are practicing what you're reading?
Yeah, what I'm reading.
Are you also at the UL, William?
Yes, BSc student.
The same agriculture?
The same agriculture.
Now, I'm very proud of you guys that you did agriculture and you are practicing it. What encouraged you to go into agriculture?
What encouraged us with we came with our people into it. Also one area aspect of life where we bother with them. Then I've been what they have been doing over the period of time to send us, support us in school until we graduate from high school. And then we ourselves were involved into it and then went to college. We help ourselves until we graduate from college. So it just gave us the wide understanding that wow. And which means we have some exercise that at least we can able to go into agriculture.
Well, how's more pepper you're growing? I see a whole bag of pepper in some of the pictures. I've been seeing a whole bag of pepper on people. Do you all have? Let me come back to it in terms of what he does. When you say feed technology, what do you?
I'm Marcus Jacob Escobar is game. We also in the production of pepper. We need dressing down what we produce, what the market need. We go for what the market need. Okay. Like dressing in more of you always experience that the pepper go high. So we go for the market, what the market need. We don't produce what the market do not need. And so doing that, the rainy season we go into some vegetable like okra, loki, all in the vegetable that we produce, but we produce on a higher scale in the rainy season. But for now, we go into pepper production in Moswalo. Or we get a lot of challenges that we are facing.
Yeah, we will come to the challenges. Let's deal with what you're doing. We know we come to the challenges, but I am impressed that you're growing all these things. Do you have enough land to be able to grow them kind of big bag? I see here, big bag of pepper, and I know you guys grow more than that.
Yeah, even like just one bag.
We just snap in the food.
But actually, just before the Christmas, we produce up to 15 of that bag you're looking at.
Wow!
Just for A.
Just for A because we are cooperative. So at the end of the day, we have about 3 area.
Nature area
of area.
You guys are young. I think I am older than both of you.
Exactly.
Yeah, the way I look. How old are you?
Actually 29.
So you see that?
26.
You see that? So and that's why I'm even more impressed to have young guys like you involved into agriculture on this kind of scale, producing all the things that you're producing. Are you able to sell all of what you produce?
Yes, we are able to sell them, but our market system within Liberia is not like other market system in other country where you produce all those things. Sometimes you find that in difficult times, sometimes it will waste. Sometimes you will find it at the end of the day, you carry to the market, no buyer. Sometimes you carry to the market, you get money. So by their father can get rejected, this is our fee, and this is what we are then engaged into. Therefore now you get pepper now, at least you got money because pepper is higher kick on the market now. But like for other vegetable, like the what we're just naming, like the big like the turi, the katu, it's not have money.
Please bring them a plastic pepper.
The katu does not have money. So at the end of the day, you will finalize that you will not able to get what you needed to get.
How much for this plastic pepper? Because one of our reporters, Joseph Daniels, posted a few pepper. He said we're selling for 100. Just few pots of pepper. So the plastic and how much?
For that plastic, we just figure from the farm, but actually maybe when you estimate now, to tell me the price, they will take you maybe 1,000 or more than 1,000.
1,005 to 1,000.
Yeah, because the pepper plenty.
Yeah, there's plenty.
But please show the thing. I like people be seeing the pepper more. This is what the young Liberians are doing. We're very impressed. We're very impressed with what you guys are doing. And that's. But let's go to Cooper to tell us some of the challenges.
Yes, one of the challenges we face is land issue. Number one challenge we face.
What does that mean?
We mean the land, we go to some place, when we're supposed to lay all the area, we not lay all the area. Because after 1 year, 2 years, the people say you're making a lot of money all our ground. You're making a lot of money about land, you're buying land. And which are full, we're not able to buy the land, we consume like 5% the least land we occupy like 3 acres for our own group, like 25 members. Yeah, in our cooperative, but now we want to get some, 100, 400, line no more. We get exactly the member, and any member that we join our group, you have to go to training. And we have our particular size in man back and 105. But we don't produce it during the dry season, and we got no irrigation system run there. So we don't produce it during the rain. And we also in the importation of seed.
Okay.
Yeah, like some seed we import quality seed. We don't want to go to Ulia, we import quality seeds that the market will call for. Yeah, like you see, this is watermelon. We always say import this seeds. You're not seeing the world market. Yeah.
That the type that can be.
Yeah, we
that the kind of watermelon can be red, the sweet one.
Yeah, the sweet one.
Okay.
So this is watermelon. We always say import it. You're not seeing the world market. Yeah, we come. This is Chinese.
That mean like grand market. Because you say world market, then
yeah, like grand market. Our local market. Yeah, yeah. So we produce this. This is Chinese cabbage in our local market.
Let me see how it looks.
Yeah. This is
okay.
Chinese.
Do people buy it?
Yeah. The Chinese.
What the Chinese people can buy?
Yeah, buy it.
So you guys are smart enough to.
Yeah, to go for the market. What the market need. But during the ex-president time, we applied for the grant, and up to now we're not getting.
Okay.
We get certificate from the ex-minister who was Jenny Cooper at that time. Certificate about the general secretary will speak more about that. Just after the production start. So we are facing that challenge. Meaning number one, the lantern issue. We've been Marquardt Hill. A people from Josephine will tell you, say, yeah, I live Marquardt Hill. We don't want to open outside at Marquardt Hill.
Okay.
But the lantern issue will move. We're in Pennsylvania, the same lantern issue will move. Now we're in Swamp because we're not able to purchase our own land. One, the major issue. Two, the local production we'll be doing with like hand. We're doing hand, we're not using no machine. Within our hand production, we get contract where you not get money to hire contractor. So allow you to be you have to qualify the 3 acres, you qualify the 1 acre or 2 acre, but you don't have the finance to qualify the 2-3 acre, but you have the machine, you don't have to worry on workforce. The only thing everything on is maybe fuel to fuel your machine. And to the lantern issue the most or 3 again come to support from the government. We need support. Because the Mama group of farmers, that farmer that we say, before we sell seed to any farmer, we ourselves test it. We don't say they say we are calling on the minister, we are calling on your reporter, say your reporter were on our farm this morning. Yeah, they do some, we call it from there. So we now want to say our farm across the water. Our farm is not in Harlem. We produce now in Montserrat. I can say we produce one of the higher people in Montserrat. So we're not guessing, we're inviting everyone. If you want to be in the production of farming, we will help you lay on your side. And you got to do a negotiation. How much, the followable fees that will charge you. Because I want to go into agriculture, but you don't know the means. So we also into that. For example, we want to seeds, quality seeds. We also import our seed and test it. We will sell to farmer. So we are also into the importation of seeds. But number one issue is the support. No support.
Okay. Now, you want to come in?
So just add up to what he said. Actually, it is turning of in Liberia, to see young people going on media, to advocate for help. It's very, very unfortunate, but we just have to, because in a sense, that's the only way. Actually, the general secretary have tried all my possible best, engaging all the area. Like I went to the ministry at the time, and then we needed a grant. I applied for the grant, and I went after the grant until they told me say they need secretarial clearance. I have to come to the minister to get secretarial clearance to the office. And 2 years I already get secretarial clearance. That's what I was talking about. We are existed now for almost like we started our cooperation because we started working. Then later on, other NGO came in. They started helping us at the time. But now NGO is not really flowing like before. So we decided to hit the government to see how best they can all help us. But then unfortunately, out of our period of time, we chased the government over the period of time, and then at the end of the day, we could not get any benefit. We get all that was documented, registered. We pay tax. Everything is here. If you want from them to open it, and then we'll show to the people properly so that we all see it. That we're paying tax, but then we will advocate as known people, even all the people. At the end of the day, we can't get any other thing. So that's why I brought to the media. We said, but then we take the media because, but other people been actually on our farm. We got a coordinator from here. He won a Mawa group of farm. He saw the place. He said, wow, but in the whole entire region, I think you're king number one. Yeah. Or he promised us to see how best we could push up. But then at the end of the day, again, unfortunately, the government never leave. They left again. Our new government have come in. So we decided again to take the media this time around to see how best we can be here. We are qualified. Farmer will gather our document with us. We now like we came from somewhere else. We don't join, no. But we are qualified. And then we need help. So this is what we're crying on. If anyone can help us in the process, we'll produce it. We'll be harvesting even tomorrow. Yeah, people to go on the farm to harvest tomorrow. We'll be harvesting tomorrow.
Okay. So again, like I said, I promise you we'll bring you back. I'm interested in seeing where you are and what to do. Perhaps that will make us bring you back on next week. What if, because sometimes the government has a whole lot of land. What if the government through the agriculture ministry says we have this place that we can give you?
Well, we will be happy because everyone want a good place. I mean, except where the place is not okay, then we'll look at it because for somebody we are still on in the field, so we'll look at the field where you're going to get all the soil you're going to get, we'll look at the soil and the soil is not good. I'm not going to waste my energy there to tell you, say, yes, if you're playing here, or we're going to produce here, no. But if at all, the place is going to give us and then the place secure, why not? I can go there and produce and where I won't have a lot of stress on me. Because I'm going to produce then and sell for myself and get what I can get. But where we get now, the 3 acres of land as I speak now, we pay no less than 300 or some more out of US just for a year time. Then at the end of the day, again, you got other activities like you have to buy fertilizer, menu, all those things, chemical, fungicides, all those things, just to empower your farm. So you get a lot of scratch and things. Fertilizer now in the world market is very, very expensive. Like when the local market, very expensive. So that's why we decided to ask for help. At least we can get even vehicle. We have no vehicle. We use one motorbike to go to work. And we have about 4, so not 5. Before to get on there sometime to go to work.
Okay. Let's take few calls. Here from the public. 777-700-995. 555-995-995. The numbers to call. Senator Dillon is already around. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Julius Guest. Good evening, Student Guest.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Bapia Zukle. I do the National Coalition for State Number 14, particularly Clavatan.
Okay.
I want to appreciate your farmers here. You know, the federal government just went from our project production survey, and then thing was dispatched to 10 counties. I appreciate it because the project production survey was intended to know the strength of the farmer and get it data. It was data collection. There were things that start in Nima. I mean, as much and Moswaru. I don't know whether they receive it. But actually, the government of Liberia for all stand. They have an interest in the agriculture, and that is why they wanted to know actually what is up to the land. And then this survey was actually conducted through the latest statistical hall of the country and other Ministry of Agriculture in support with World Bank and FAO. So, I mean, they are concerned, the government is concerned, the World Bank is concerned, everybody is concerned about our farmer. Most of the things that is testimony that's generated were some of the things that we came about to our normal road enumerator, that is income, labor productivity, the enumerators for NIMA County. We encountered the other thing that the farmers are telling us. And it's important to empower our farmers because for them to move forward, agriculture is one of the focus around the world. They are concerned, so I want to appreciate it. And also, Julius, like you said, these guys need to come by in the studio so that many people can listen to them and get their expertise. So okay. I want to appreciate it 100%. Thank you very much.
Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. Hello? Hello? We can't hear that person. Let's try this one. Hello? Hello? What's happening to this line? Hello? Hello? Okay, let's try this out. Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
My name is Julius and I'm calling from LA.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to be very thankful to the guys in studio with you. As you are encouraging. But you see, in this country behind since 1822. I managed to chat with one of Warren. He told me whenever we are graduating from the college of agriculture in Africa Coast, the graduating class, the government empowered them. But here it's not like that. I was speaking to you, I am an agriculturalist, but since I graduated, no job. And to do agriculture, you need actually the initial capital. Like, you need tractor, you know. You can't do farm with your hair and you expect to gamble. So what I want to encourage these guys, let them continue to negotiate with the new minister. Let's see how the government can help.
Okay.
Let's see how the good day.
Thanks so kindly as well. Let's try this side again. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. Let's take the final one from here. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius, and let me say good afternoon to your studio guys.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Prince Disa, and I'm from a little Ghana community resident in Banana. Let me say thanks to the guys in studio. You know, to hear people of South Asia, you've brought me to such a thing. I think it is welcoming, and I just want to add my voice to the armed forces, the government, monitoring, and donor panel to see how best the national government, to see how best we can assist into the process so they can make a big impact. Getting young people involved in the farming at their ages now is something that the government should take seriously, because that's the only way our country can benefit. Thank you very much for the time.
Thanks so kindly as well. We come back to our guests now. You've listened to the calls. Yeah, let's start with you.
I listened to the call actually. Well, we continue to look forward again to see how best we can engage the media again for another time. To
Yeah,
see
sure.
how best to get
I promise you.
to see how best we can get support actually, because
what kind of support do you actually need? Just talking about that. Danishos Martin says those young guys in the studio are doing a wonderful job. I'm interested in helping to bring up, promote what they're doing. Thank you for diversifying your show as always. Okay.
We need like grant. That's one main thing we're advocating for. We need a grant. I think where we'll advocate like buying the land, where we'll not just be moving here and there, but where we'll be situated somewhere where we'll have time to do the immigration system, or over the farm where maybe we find all the 25 farmers within where we just sit down in one place where we all will be able to grow all of our vegetable and have time. So that's been one of the main things that we need a grant, because even if we can get grant, we can get like maybe other things like tractor to help us. I think that would be much more fun. Or we can get even vehicles just for, and most of the time we'll harvest our goods to come to time, because now we'll harvest our goods to be tied on a motorbike just to bring us now go hire keke to go for our goods and bring it to.
What about preservation? To preserve somewhere like that will keep it fresh for a long time.
Storage aspect.
Yeah, we need storage, but when you advocate for storage, to build one storage,
it can be expensive.
It's very costly. So I don't know if the government is willing to do that, then we appreciate it to say congrats.
Okay, you want to come in?
Okay, Marcus again. My number is 0776.
Yeah, because someone asking for your numbers.
0776 21 85 17. If you also in the production of vegetable, you want to go to vegetable, we'll go and see your side. Your side is comfortable for vegetable. We're going to tell you that yes, this side is comfortable for vegetable, or a conducer, or you're not conducer. You have to go to palm or the other production. We're going to do that for you. It's negotiable, and now something like expensive. Even like seeds, you want a quality seeds. You contact that all, will give you quality seeds that you need. So I like to appreciate my caller or everyone who call. They're making the contribution to this show. I like to thank you for calling. That they keep pushing that all made like real great. Some are not willing to work later. The only way we're going to build our nation, some of all that we believe is through production, agricultural production.